Have you ever traveled through time? We do it every day.
Asgardia is a country with a population of more than 1 million people from more than 200 countries on Earth. Asgardia gives everyone equal opportunities, no matter what their earthly status is.
It is possible to create and live in the future right now. Are you ready? Forward progress is the solution to the entire human race. Our mission is to bridge new horizons. In Asgardia, there is no limit to the universal development in the fields of technology, finance, and arts. Asgardia is a new space and digital economy which creates opportunities for the global economy. We deliver innovations. Do you want to get on board with us? We are developing various kinds of digital businesses, attracting them to the Asgardia platform that can be backed by the means of our umbrella, i.e. franchising of the Asgardia brand. We can not only attract investments into space programs from prominent institutional investors, but also affordable amounts from the citizens of Asgardia. We comprise of more than 1 million people.
Asgardia is a chance to realize one's dream. This is a dream-driven space nation. Asgardia is a chance to belong to a community of free-thinking enthusiasts, goal-driven dreamers, and fearless innovators, theorists, and scientists.
We are the first space nation. One humanity, one unity.
Asgardia.
We are creating
The future.
We used to have chickens when we just came here, and on purpose, I bought really large chickens. So I was hoping that the birds of prey wouldn't eat them then. So really huge chickens, like half a meter high or so, really large ones. I don't know what it's called in English, but in Dutch they are called Brahma. White and black chickens. But unfortunately, the birds of prey are that large that they still caught them and ate them, and so after a while we got a few new ones, but they ate everything. So after a while we just stopped. We don't have chickens anymore.
Well, you know what? We could actually have chickens in the moon because they won't try to fly. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Technically, chickens, by the way, welcome world. We are live. I'm Len Topic, Chair of Parliament for Asgardia, the world's first space nation. Do please join us. But back to the chicken conversation. Chickens would be a great bird on the moon. Why do you think that is, Jacob?
Chickens, well, there's for starters, there's not any air. So even if they could fly, but if there's no air, flying is quite hard.
Think about it this way. If we have the same pounds per square inch, the same atmospheric pressure in our domes that we live in as we have on Earth, but 1/6 the gravity, they can fly, and that'd be an amazing thing to see.
Yeah, of course. But even here in on Earth, I mean, the chickens that ours I don't know, but I've seen chickens fly. They can fly up to in the trees and then sit rather high up in the trees, so that they are safe from people from the animals on the floor.
They just don't like flying. That's all. They just don't like doing it. That's all.
Yeah. It's enough for them on the floor.
You've learned something new here at Asgardia, the world's first space station. Welcome, one and all. That is Jacob, a government minister, the spy in the camp of the government, whom we welcome very much. And I'm Len Topic, and I am the Chair of Parliament, the world's first space nation. We would love you to join. Do go to our website if you like what you see. Let me talk about 4 things, but before I do that, it's going to be quite a short meeting, I think, today, because we're in between the last Asgardia Legislative Forum and the next one. And also we've got the digital sitting at the end of June. I'm slightly behind on that, so I'll come back to that in a minute. First thing I want to say, big thank you to Cheryl Gallagher, the Minister for Culture. She finally got me to buy my DNA sample to send to the moon. I now recommend, now that I've bought mine, so you can't buy me out, I recommend that you do look at the Asgardia site and you get 10% discount. You can have your DNA on the moon in perpetuity. We saw a beautiful video by Cheryl Gallagher, and I think this is one way that we can physically stake our claim on the moon and elsewhere. So please do that if you can. Secondly, let's go to Peter Morn, and he will summarise the experiences that we've had and the conversations we had at the Chair's meeting, Chair of Parliament's Committees meeting.
Thank you, Lambert. It was a very short meeting. A lot of people are away and busy, and it's sent substitutes. But we did hear again from Coroner about her youth summit, and there's going to be much more of that between now and the date in August when it occurs. But it's the Asgardian Youth Summit. We're calling it the AYS 24. And there's going to be a lot more of that. It's a 24-hour feature. And I encourage everyone to take part. Much more detail to come. A lot of hard work in the background already from Coroner. And she's now roped in Lambert doing work too. And I'm sure it's going to be brilliant. There was not much else. We're all enthusiastic, but not many of us were there. So there was not a lot of enthusiasm to be spread. But Coroner's project, I'm really very, very excited about it and endorse it on behalf of the other chairs and hope that you'll all be taking part when the time comes. That's about all I've got, Lambert, because it was very short, but of high quality.
Corner can't be with us this evening. I haven't checked, but I don't think she can be here. Corner is doing a great job in turning an idea into action. It's a digital event. It might have a physical element as well, but that's not confirmed yet. If there is, then I will try and attend that too. This is that committee and her chairmanship turning us into a real event here on real planet Earth. Which will be, I think, quite inspirational for a lot of people, and probably will get lots of new residents too. Thirdly of four, 28th of June is still the scheduled date for the next digital sitting. For Corner, I need to do a little bit of work further. I haven't checked if you're here, but we just need to make sure we have the right version of the Foreign Affairs Act. I think it hasn't changed much from the last time, so we can do that as well. I'm still looking for next first readings. We could maybe get one more in this time if you have something which really matters to you and you think matters to Asgardia. It's not essential because we have a fairly business orientated and busy schedule already. But if you do have something, then let me know. The fourth and the final thing is I'm expecting some more big launches this month. In June next month. And we should think about sharing our views on those launches in the internet. Added to that, Rebecca Berg is making great pieces of media for us, which we still are not using enough. Please do try to use those so that we can actually make sure that we promote Asgardia to the wider audience. That's what I had. Let's go to Jakob next. Jakob.
Yeah, my microphone. Yes, I put something in the chat. I'll repeat it in the chat. There is going to be a webinar very soon. I think it is next Monday, 3rd of June. I think that is next Monday. Yeah, that's next Monday evening. That is to say 16 UTC. There is a webinar on doing business with and in Asgardia. And a few people there will explain how to do things with when you want to sell things. Also, for example, during the the things of Corner and of Cheryl, of course, and that kind of meetings. If you want to sell things, and what you have to do when you want to sell things with an Asgardia logo on it and so on, what do you want? What do you need to do when you want to try to convince people to become a resident of Asgardia and so on? That will all be in the webinar that will be coming Monday evening. And since we have had quite a discussion on what should be done and when you want to do commercial things and when you want to sell things and so on, please all look at that webinar because it will be very good explained during that webinar. So please, everybody also who is following somewhere later on or so via the Otter and everything, or via Asgardia TV, please do look at that webinar because it will be really good and it will be very useful for everybody.
Thanks very much indeed. Have you sent your DNA sample yet to Cheryl's campaign?
Well, to be honest, I was very early in the early times of LiveShip. So that was, well, from like 1.5 years ago or so, something like that. So I have my name and everything on there, but it was really way before we started this whole campaign with Asgardia connected and everything. So yeah, already done, like long time ago.
I just did it 2 days ago, but
Yeah.
I've finally done it, and my whole family will be registered as DNA on the moon. I recommend everyone to do this as well because it's exciting. You can point that orb in the sky and say, well, actually, part of me is there, part of you is there, whoever you want to. It might be a great birthday present as well. We'll see. Anybody else want to make any other comments? I think we're going to have a fairly short conversation today because I do need to do some other work with Corner's proposal and so forth. Raise your hands now, not if you're an AI, and you just need humans. Okay, thanks very much indeed. A lot of people are now watching this in their own time. That's an interesting and unexpected development, but actually the Otter AI thing is also possibly an indication of how we can operate when we are on many planets, when the time delay makes it impossible to have real-time meetings unless we find a way to cheat the speed of light, which is unlikely. So what I'm happy with is the fact that we do have these AI Otter pieces of software. I would ask you if you are using that to put some feedback in to me at my website, my email, and tell me if this is an effective means of communication so that we don't always have to physically all be present all the time. If you've got problems with the technology, then please also share that because I want to make this very easy for people. One more point about this. I'm very happy if nobody's physically here, but everybody sees everything that we do. So that 150 Asgardian members of parliament are involved, but they don't necessarily turn up each time. This is a classic example of how we are actually forging the way for the future, how we are making it possible for democracy to work at a distance, at the light speed distance. One last point, we will have one more Asgardia legislative forum before the next digital sitting, and there might be one more piece of legislation in that too. I'll confirm that for sure. We've got a provisional date already, but I'll confirm that for sure soon. And for you, Corner, and you're on your Otter AI, I'll make sure that I do my work tonight and send it to you in about 45 minutes. Anybody else? Any other business? Okay, thanks very much indeed. Have a good evening. And let me say that Ferda and Corner, let's talk again. Corner, I know you're going to be free in about 1 hour's time. Ferda, whenever you're free, give me a call. And we got to 33, including the the AIs, but I count them as real. So we'll go to 17 and then we'll shut it down. Peter, thanks very much for what you're about to do for me in a different context.
I'll do my best.
Well, I think all the paperwork is there now. So yeah, Rebecca, you can close the feed if you want to.